So we're inside the building. There is a Persian rug spread on the floor. There is a large nest here full of golden eggs. There is a delicate precious Ming vase here. A small velvet pillow lies on the floor. There is an emerald here the size of a plover's egg. There is a golden chain lying in a heap on the floor. Off to one side lies a glistening pearl. There are rare spices here. Jewel encrusted trident. Precious jewelry. Many coins. Bars of silver. And a large sparkling nugget of gold here. And we want to drop pyramid. Okay. And we want to type in drop diamonds. Okay. And type in drop chest. Okay. All right. We're just about ready to start our adventure. Text adventure game, Colossal Cave Adventure. Before we begin, we're going to start from the beginning, by the way. Finally got the whole walkthrough done. I pre-recorded this video. And so what I'm going to do is we're going to start from the very beginning and end the game Colossal Cave Adventure. In this episode, episode 6. Big shout out to the YouTube channel RPG Cinema. The video is called Colossal Cave Adventure Playthrough. Big thanks to him because his video has, or her video, depending on the person, I don't know who the person is, but that YouTube channel has been very, very helpful in getting through this very challenging text adventure game. Oh, another shout out, the YouTube channel Asleep in Perfection. Thanks so much for the video Cave Sounds for Deep Sleep Inside the Cave Ambience /ASR plus water dripping. That video has been very helpful in adding an ambience to this video of my series, Taco and Text Adventure Tuesdays, episode 6. Thanks so much. Now, if you look to your left, here's the original artwork that was in the front cover of the game. The original text adventure game, the CPM game. Very, very old, but very nice illustration. You'll see a little bit more of it later. But here we have the adventurer, you, the player of the game, with a sword in his right and a bird cage in his left, battling a gigantic green snake in the cave. So it's a really exciting illustration depicting an important scene in the game. So we're going to play the video from beginning to end, and I'm going to narrate it because I played this game already. I found it very difficult in previous episodes of this podcast to narrate the game while I'm playing it, and especially if I'm learning for the first time. It's just too challenging to do two things at once. I'm not a person who likes to chew gum and walk at the same time, but this is going to work out much better this way. If I play the game previously off the camera and then record the podcast with the footage of me playing the game. Hope you can understand the situation. Welcome to adventure. Would you like instructions? No. Okay, let's move on with the game. You are standing at the end of a road. Before a small brick building. Around you is a forest. A small stream flows out of the building and down a gully. For a few seconds till the game gets progress here. Type in introduction. Sorry, I don't know the word introduction. So there is no introduction. I should have said maybe, yes, instructions, but we don't have instruction this time. We don't really need instructions. We're going to walk through this game very quickly. Okay, we're going to start from the beginning. Welcome to adventure! Exclamation point, exclamation point. Would you like instructions? Yes. Here we go. Somewhere nearby is Colossal Cave. Where others have found fortunes in treasures and gold. Though it is rumored that some who enter are never seen again. Magic is said to work in the cave. I will be your eyes and hands. Direct me with commands of 1 or 2 words. I should warn you that I look at only the first 5 letters of each word. So you'll have to enter, quote-unquote, northeast as quote-unquote NE. To distinguish it from quote-unquote north. Brackets. Should you get stuck, type quote-unquote help for some general hints. For information on how to end your adventure, accept. type quote-unquote info. The first adventure program was developed by Willie Crowther. Most of the features of the current program were added by Don Woods. This particular program was translated from Fortran to C by Don Knuth. And then from CWEB to by Arthur O'Dwyer. You are standing at the end of a road before a small brick building. Around you is a forest. A small stream flows out of the building and brackets more. Move on to the next page of the game. And down a gully. So we're going to get into the actual gameplay now. You guys had a bit of an introduction. Type in the letter E. You are inside a building. A well house for a large spring. There are some keys on the ground here. There is a shiny brass lamp nearby. There is food here. There is a bottle of water here. Type in the letters SAVE or save to save our file. So I'm going to type the words number 1 dash well house, well dash house. And the video is dated October the 11th, 2025. So we type in the words take lamp. Okay. Then take keys. Okay. Then type the word save. I'm going to resave that file, same name, no alterations to the name. Then we type in the letter W for west. You're at the end of road again. Type in S for south. You are in a valley in the forest beside a stream, tumbling along a rocky bed. Type in the letter S for south. At your feet, all the water of the stream splashes into a 2-inch slit in the rock. Downstream, the stream bed is bare rock. Type in the letter S for south. You are in a 20-foot depression floored with bare dirt. Set into the dirt is a strong steel grate mounted in concrete. A dry stream bed leads into the depression. The grate is locked. Type the word unlock. The grate is now unlocked. Then type the letter D for down. You are in a small chamber beneath a 3x3 steel grate to the surface. A low crawl over cobbles leads inward to the west. The grate is open. Type the letter W for west. You are crawling over cobbles in a low passage. There is a dim light at the east end of the passage. There is a small wicker cage discarded nearby. Save. We're going to save the file as wicker cage, and we dated it October the 11th, 2025. Now I'm going to type take cage. Okay. Type the letter W. It is now pitch dark. If you proceed, you will most likely fall into a pit. Type the word light. Your lamp is now on. You are in a debris room filled with stuff washed in from the surface. A low, wide passage with cobbles becomes plugged with mud and debris here. But an awkward canyon leads upward and west. A note on the wall says, quote unquote, magic word X I Z Z I. A 3-foot black rod with a rusty star on an end lies nearby. Type the word save. We're going to name the file. I think it's called XYZZY and Black Rod. And we'll date it October 2025. Type the words take rod. Okay. Save. So I resaved the file. Didn't alter the words, just saved the same file name. And we type in the letter W. You are in an awkward sloping east/west canyon. Type the letter W. You are in a splendid chamber, 30 feet high. The walls are frozen rivers of orange stone. An awkward canyon and a good passage exit from east and west sides of the chamber. A cheerful little bird is sitting here singing. Now this is important. It's kind of tricky, but you'll see what I mean. Type the word save. We're going to save this as bird room, and we'll date it October the 11th, 2025. Saved. Now we want to drop the rod first. Then take bird. Okay? Then take the rod and save. If you keep the rod while picking up the bird will avoid you. It's afraid of the rod, the magic rod. So you want to drop the rod first, pick up the bird next, then pick up the rod. Saved our file. I save often in this game. Type the word west or W. At your feet is a small pit, breathing traces of white mist. An east passage ends here, except for a small crack leading on. Rough stone steps lead down the pit. Type the letter D for down. You are at one end of a vast hall, stretching forward out of sight. To the west, there are openings to either side. Nearby, a wide stone staircase leads downward. The hall is filled with wisps of white mist, swaying to and fro, almost as if alive. A cold wind blows up the staircase. There is a passage at the top of a dome behind you. Rough stone steps lead up the dome. I'll save the file. Like Hall of Mists or something of that nature, and I dated it. Next, we want to type the letter S for south. This is a low room with a crude note on the wall. The note says, quote unquote, "You won't get it up the steps." There is a large, sparkling nugget of here. Nice, our first treasure. Take gold. Okay. Next, want to save, and I'll probably saved it as gold nugget, and I dated it. Okay, it's saved. Next, we want to type in the letter N for north. You're in Hall of Mists. Type the word save as Hall of Mists. Date the file. Excellent, done. Next, we're going to type D. And here we go. What we've been waiting for from the depicted on the illustration, top left corner of the page, of the screen. You are in the Hall of the Mountain King, with passages off in all directions. A huge, green, fierce snake bars the way. What am I going to do with this monster? Type in save, and I'll save the file as green snake. Date it, date the file. Excellent. Now I type in the words free bird, just like that rock song. The little bird attacks the green snake. And in an astounding flurry, drives the snake away. Type in the words drop cage. Then we're going to save the file, resave it, type the word south, pardon me, or you can type the letter S, either way is fine. You are in the south side chamber. There is precious jewelry here. Nice. There's the second treasure. We want to type save, and we'll save the file as jewelry, and we'll date it. Type the words take jewelry. Make sure you spell it properly. I wasn't focusing when I typed this. There you go. Okay, save the file, resave it. Type in the letter N for north. You're in Hall of Mountain King. There is a small wicker cage discarded nearby. A cheerful little bird is sitting here singing. Type in the letter U for west. You are in the west side chamber of the Hall of the Mountain King. A passage continues west and up here. There are many coins here. Our third treasure. We want to take coins, type in take coins, okay, and then type in the letter E for east. You're in Hall of Mountain King. There is a small wicker cage discarded nearby. A cheerful little bird is singing, sitting here singing. Type in the letter N for north. My apologies. You don't type in... Oh. Just a moment. So our third treasure is coins. We're to take the coins. In the west side chamber of the Hall of the Mountain King. And we're typed in east, and we're in the Hall of the Mountain King. The wicker cage, the cheerful little birds sitting and singing. Excellent. Now, type in north. You are in a low north/south passage. At a hole in the floor. The hole goes down to an east/west passage. There are bars of silver here. Our fourth treasure. Now this is a slightly different walkthrough than before. I previously told you not to take the silver because of the walkthrough I had. I'm doing a different walkthrough. Now I'm going to take the silver. But I assure you, this game works. This technique works. Oh. Type the word, we'll take silver and then okay. And we want to type the letter N for north. You are in a large room with a passage to the south. A passage to the west. And a wall of broken rock to the east. There is a large, quote-unquote, light on a rock in the room center. Type in S for south. You're in north-south passage. Then we want to type in north again. You're at quote-unquote right. And this time, a hollow voice says, quote-unquote, plus. We want to type the word plus. You're inside building. There is food here. There is a bottle of water here. Next, we want to type in save. And we're going to name this file as well house or number 1 well house treasures, and we date it. So every time we drop by the well house with new treasures, we will change the number of this file so it's a different season or a different batch of treasures. So this is the first batch of treasures. The next batch of treasures will be number 2, and the third number 3, and the fourth number 4, so on and so forth. Next, we want to type the word drop. The file, different treasures. So the first treasure we're going to drop is drop gold, okay. Drop silver, okay. Drop coins, okay. Drop jewelry, okay. And after that, we want to type in drop rod. So we want to drop the magic rod till we need it later. Then take rod. My mistake, we dropped the rod again. I don't need the rod right now, so we'll drop it in this well house for later. Then we want to take food and take bottle. Okay and okay. Save the file, and we'll rename the file as Wellhouse Treasures, number 1. Then we type the word Plu. You're at quote-unquote Y2. You're instantly transported to another room. It's a magic transportation spell. Then we type in the letter S. You're in North-South Passage. Next, we want to type in the letter D for down. You are in a dirty, broken passage. To the east is a crawl. To the west is a large passage. Above you is a hole to another passage. Next, I'm going to type in W for west. You are in a large room full of dusty rocks. There is a big hole in the floor. There are cracks everywhere. And a passage leading east. Type in D. You are at a complex junction. A low hands and knees passage from the north joins a higher crawl from the east. To make a walking passage going west. There is also a large room above. The air is damp here. Type in the letter W. You are in bed quilt. A long east-west passage with holes everywhere. To explore at random, select north, south, up, or down. Next, we want to type in W. You are in a room whose walls resemble Swiss cheese. Obvious passages go west, east, northeast, and northwest. Part of the room is occupied by a large bedrock block. Type in W. You are at the east end of the two-pit room. The floor here is littered with thin rock slabs, which make it easy to descend the pits. There is a path here by bypassing the pits to connect passages from east and west. There are holes all over, but the only big one is on the wall directly over the west pit, where you can't get to it. Type the word save. We'll save this as two-pit room and we'll date it. At the east end, we'll add the letter E to it. Next, we want to type in the letter W. You are at the west end of the two-pit room. There is a large hole in the wall above the pit at this end of the room. Type in the word save. We'll save the file as west end of the two-pit room. We date it October 2025. Then we type in the letter D for down. You are at the bottom of the western pit in the two-pit room. There is a large hole in the wall about 20 feet above you. There is a tiny little plant in the pit murmuring, quote-unquote, water, water, ... Next, we want to type in the words water plant. The plant spurts into furious growth for a few seconds. Oh, a little dwarf just walked around the corner, saw you, threw a little axe at you, which missed, cursed, and ran away. So in this game, you'll encounter the first enemy in the game is a dwarf with an axe. And he will throw the axe at you. Most likely he will miss you. But to your benefit, he will leave you a weapon. You're in the west pit. There is a little axe here. And there is a 12-foot tall beanstalk stretching up out of the pit, bellowing, quote unquote, water, exclamation point, exclamation point, water, exclamation point, exclamation point. Excellent. Want to save where we left off, save our file. We don't want to lose this important section in the game. Next, we want to type the letter U for up. You're at west end of 2-pit room. The top of a 12-foot tall beanstalk is poking out of the west pit. Type in the letter W. You are in a large, low, circular chamber whose floor is an immense slab fallen from the ceiling. Brackets, slab room. There once were large passages to the east and west, but they are now filled with boulders. Low, small passages go north and south, and the south one quickly bends east around the boulders. Next, we want to save our file, name it as slab room, date it. Type the letter U for up. You are in a secret north-south canyon above a large room. Then we want to type in N for north. You are in a north-south canyon about 20 feet across. The floor is covered by white mist. Seeping in from the north. The walls extend upward for well over 100 feet. Suspended from some unseen point far above you, an enormous two-sided mirror is hanging parallel to and midway between the canyon walls. Brackets. The mirror is obviously provided for the use of the dwarves, who, as you know, are extremely vain. A small window can be seen in either wall, some 50 feet up. Type in the word save. We're going to save our file probably as Mirror Room or Mirror Canyon. Date it. Then we type in the letter N for north. You are at the edge of a large underground reservoir. An opaque cloud of white mist fills the room and rises rapidly upward. The lake is fed by a stream, which tumbles out of a hole in the wall about 10 feet overhead and splashes noisily into the water somewhere within the mist. The only passage goes back toward the south. We want to type the words "take water." Your bottle is now full of water. Type S for south. You are in Mirror Canyon. Type in S. You are in a secret north-south canyon above a large room. Type in the letter D for down. There is a threatening little dwarf in the room with you. You're in slab room. Type in the letter S for south. A little dwarf with a big knife blocks your way. There is a threatening little dwarf in the room with you. One sharp, nasty knife is thrown at you. It misses. You're in slab room. Next, we'll type in south. There is a threatening little dwarf in the room with you. You are at west end of 2-pit room. The top of a 12-foot tall beanstalk is poking out of the west pit. Type in the letter D for down. There is a threatening little dwarf in the room with you. You're in west pit. There is a little axe here. There is a 12-foot tall beanstalk stretching out of the pit. Bellowing, quote unquote, water, exclamation point, exclamation point, water, exclamation point, exclamation point. Water plant, type in the words. The plant grows explosively. Almost filling the bottom of the pit. There is a threatening little dwarf in the room with you. One sharp, nasty knife is thrown at you. It misses. You're in west pit. There is a little axe here. There is a gigantic beanstalk stretching all the way up to the hole. Type the words take axe. Okay, and then save the file. It's very important that we have our axe with us at all times. We're gonna meet a lot of dwarves that are very dangerous, aggressive dwarves, of course. Not all dwarves are bad, but these ones in particular are nasty. So after saving our file, we type the word inventory. You are currently holding the following: set of keys, brass lantern, tasty food, small bottle, dwarf's axe. Next, we want to type the letter U for up. There is a threatening little dwarf in the room with you. You're at west end of two-pit room. There is a huge beanstalk growing out of the west pit up to the hole. Type the words throw axe. You killed a little dwarf. The body vanishes in a cloud of greasy black smoke. That was a very nasty dwarf, and it dissolved. It's not even a normal creature. Turned into black smoke. You're at west end of two-pit room. There is a little axe here. There is a huge beanstalk growing out of the west pit up to the hole. Next, we want to save the file, and we'll name it as two-pit room with east end or west end of the two-pit room. Then we need to type in take axe, okay. I'll resave the file because I want to, in case something happens to me, I can always retrieve the file with me, my axe in an inventory. Next, we type the letter E for east. You're at east end of two-pit room. There is a huge beanstalk growing out of the west pit up to the hole. Next, we want to type in D for down. You are at the bottom of the eastern pit in the two-pit room. There is a small pool of oil in one corner of the pit. Take oil. Your bottle is now full of oil. We will need this oil later for our journey up the beanstalk. You'll see what I mean. We type the letter U up. You're at east end of two-pit room. There is a huge beanstalk growing out of the west pit up to the hole. Type in the letter W for west. You are at the west end of the two-pit room. There is a large hole in the wall above the pit at this end of the room. There is a huge beanstalk growing out of the west pit up to the hole. Type in the letter D for down. You're in a west pit. There is a gigantic beanstalk stretching all the way up to the hole. Next, you want to type the word climb. You clamber up the plant and scurry through the hole at the top. You are in a long, narrow corridor stretching out of sight to the west. At the eastern end is a hole through which you can see a profusion of leaves. Next, we want to type in the letter W. You are in the giant room. The ceiling here is too high up for your lamp to show it. Cavernous passages lead east, north, and south. On the west wall is scrawled the inscription, comma, quote-unquote, fee, fi, fo, foo. Square brackets, SIC. There is a large nest here, full of golden eggs. We want to save this file. We want to save this room in case we need to re-enter it. So we saved this giant room, we dated it with the golden eggs as well. Next, we want to type the words take eggs, okay, and save. Type in the letter N for north. You are at one end of an immense north-south passage. The way north is barred by a massive, rusty iron door. This is where the oil comes in. Type in oil door. The oil has freed up the hinges so that the door will now open. Type in the words drop bottle. Okay, and we type in the letter N for north. You are in a magnificent cavern with a rushing stream, which cascades over a sparkling waterfall. Into a roaring whirlpool that disappears through a hole in the floor. Passages exit to the south and west. There is a jewel-encrusted trident here. We found another treasure. It's the trident. So we want to save where we left off as the trident room, date the file, continue. Next, you want to type the words take trident, okay, and save the file. Type the letter W for west. You are at the top of a steep incline above a large room. You could climb down here, but you would not be able to climb up. There is a passage leading back to the north. Type in D for down. You are in a large, low room. Crawls lead north, southeast, and southwest. Type in the letters southwest. You are in a low, winding corridor, sloping out of sight in both directions. Next, we type in the letter U for up. You are on one side of a large, deep chasm. A heavy white mist rising up from below obscures all view of the far side. A southwest path leads away from the chasm into a winding corridor. A rickety wooden bridge extends across the chasm, vanishing into the mist. A sign posting on the bridge reads, quote-unquote, "Stop!" exclamation point. "Pay troll!" exclamation point. A burly troll stands by the bridge and insists you throw him a treasure before you may cross. He means business. And we just want to save our file as Troll Bridge, and we date the file. After we save the file, what are we going to do with this troll? Type in the words "throw eggs." The troll catches your treasure and scurries away, out of sight. All right, we gave him one of our treasures. Wonder if we can get more of the same. Then we type in the word "cross." You are on the far side of the chasm. A northeast path leads away from the chasm on this side. A rickety wooden bridge extends across the chasm, vanishing into the mist. A sign posted on the bridge reads, quote-unquote, "Stop!" exclamation point. "Pay troll!" exclamation point. The troll is nowhere to be seen. Next, we want to type in the letters N. You're in a long east/west corridor. A faint rumbling noise can be heard in the distance. Type in the letter E for east. The path forks here. The left fork leads northeast. A dull rumbling seems to get louder in that direction. The right fork leads southeast down a gentle slope. The main corridor enters from the west. Type in the letters NE. The walls are quite warm here. From the north can be heard a steady roar, so loud that the entire cave seems to be trembling. Another passage leads south, and a low crawl goes east. Next, we're going to type in E for east. You are in a small chamber filled with large boulders. The walls are very warm, causing the air in the room to be almost stifling from the heat. The only exit is a crawl heading west, through which is coming a low rumbling. There are rare spices here. Another treasure. We're going to need this. So we want to save our file as rare spices. We'll date it. I'm numbering also the treasures as well. Not necessarily the treasures themselves, but the order of the batches. So this is the second batch, it's number 2. After saving our file, we want to type in take spices. Okay. Save the file. Excellent. So we've saved our file, take spices. And we type in W for west. You're at junction with warm walls. Type in the letter S for south. You're at fork in path. Type in SE for southeast. You are walking along a gently sloping north-south passage, lined with oddly shaped limestone formations. Type in S for south. You are standing at the entrance of a large, barren room. A sign posted above the entrance reads, quote unquote, caution, exclamation point. Bear in room, exclamation point. Yes, we want to save our file, save the room that we're in. I'll name it as Bear Room or Barren Room. Either way is fine. It's kind of a play on words. Next, we're going to type in letter E for east. You are inside a barren room. The center of the room is completely empty except for some dust. Marks in the dust lead away toward the far end of the room. The only exit is the way you came in. There is a ferocious cave bear eyeing you from the far end of the room. The bear is locked to the wall with a golden chain. Poor daddy bear. Let's see if we can help him. We want to type the words feed bear. The bear eagerly wolfs down your food, after which he seems to calm down considerably and even becomes rather friendly. I want to type in unlock chain. The chain is now unlocked. Type in the words drop keys. Okay. Next, we want to type the words take chain. And now we have a new treasure. the golden chain. So you want to type the words take bear. Okay, and save our file. We'll name our room. We'll just put, we saved it as Baron Room or whatever you want to call it. Date the file. Next, we want to type in W for West. You are being followed by a very large, tame bear. You're in front of Baron Room. So now the bear is our buddy. Type in the words, not yet, we are in the limestone passage. So after we're in the limestone passage, after typing in W, so after the limestone passage, we type in the letter N for north. You are being followed by a very large, tame bear. You're at Fork and Path. Next, we want to type in W for West. You are being followed by a very large, tame bear. You're in Corridor. Type in the letter W for West. You are being followed by a very large, tame bear. You're on northeast side of Chasm. A rickety wooden bridge extends across the chasm, vanishing into the mist. A sign posted on the bridge reads, comma, quote unquote, stop, exclamation point, pay troll, exclamation point. The troll is nowhere to be seen. Next, we want to type in the word cross. The troll steps out from beneath the bridge and blocks your way. You are being followed by a very large, tame bear. You're on northeast side of Chasm. A rickety wooden bridge extends across the chasm, vanishing into the mist. A sign posted on the bridge reads, comma, exclamation point, or quote, quote unquote, stop, exclamation point, pay troll, exclamation point. A burly troll stands by the bridge and insists you throw him a treasure before you may cross. Now, we got a surprise for him. We type the words free bear. The bear lumbers toward the troll, who lets out a startled shriek and scurries away. The bear soon gives up the pursuit and wanders back. We want to type in save our file as free bear, and we'll date the type the words or southwest or SW. You are on southwest side of Chasm. A rickety wooden bridge extends across the chasm, vanishing into the mist. A sign posted on the bridge reads, quote-unquote, "Stop!" exclamation point, "Pay troll!" exclamation point. The troll is nowhere to be seen. Type the letters SW. You're in sloping corridor. Then type the letter D for down. You are in a large, low room. Crawls lead north, comma, southeast, and southwest. Then we type in the letters SE for southeast. This is the Oriental Room. Ancient Oriental cave drawings cover the walls. A gently sloping passage leads upward to the north. Another passage leads southeast. And a hands and knees crawl leads west. There is a delicate, precious Ming vase here. So I want to save our file, save the room as Oriental Room, date the file. Next, we want to type in southeast. You're in Swiss cheese room. And then we type in northeast. You're in bed quilt. So after we arrive in bed quilt, we type in E for east. You're at Complex Junction. Type in N for north. You're in a large room carved out of sedimentary rock. The floor and walls are littered with bits of shells embedded in the stone. A shallow passage proceeds downward, and a somewhat steeper one leads up. A low hands and knees passage enters from the south. And there is an enormous clam here with its shell tightly closed. So there's a treasure inside that clam, and I'm determined to get it. So we want to save our file, save it as shell room, and we'll date the file. I'm going to type the word trident. What do you want to do with the trident? Clam. What do you want to do with the clam? And we type in open. A glistening pearl falls out of the clam and rolls away. Goodness, this must really be an oyster. I never was very good at identifying bivalves. I guess that's the type of creature we're talking about. Whatever it is, it has now snapped shut. Again. Save our file as shell room. And we didn't get the pearl. We'll have to go look for the pearl because it rolled down and fell somewhere lower. We'll go look. We'll go get that pearl somewhere else. So I typed in restore. Look. Okay, we're going to look at the file again. We're still at the shell room. We haven't changed anything. Our inventory. Look at our inventory. You're currently holding the file. Brass lantern, dwarf's axe, jeweled trident, rare spices, and golden chain. Next, we're going to type the letter D for down. You are in a low sloping corridor with ragged, sharp walls. Next, we want to type the letter D for down. You are in a cul-de-sac about 8 feet across. Off to one side lies a glistening pearl. Another treasure. We want to type in take pearl. Okay. And we want to save the file as pearl. We'll date the file. We're going to type U for up. You are in a long, sloping corridor with ragged, sharp walls. Type in U for up. Then you're in shell room. There is an enormous oyster here, and its shell tightly closed. Type in S for south. You're at Complex Junction. Type in U for up. After typing U for up, you're in a dusty rock room. Type in E for east, and then you're in a dirty passage. After arriving in the dirty passage, type in U for up, and then you arrive in the north-south passage. Type in N for north. You're at quote-unquote I. Type in Plugh, P-L-U-G-H, and you're back inside the building. A 3-foot black rod with a rusty star on end. An end lies nearby. There is precious jewelry here. There are many coins here. There are bars of silver here. There is a large sparkling nugget of gold here. So when we arrive at this treasure room, I believe this is the second time, we want to save the files as treasure room, well house treasures, and will number. We want to drop trident. Okay. Next we want to type in drop spices. Okay. And drop pearl. Okay. And drop chain. Okay. And save our file. So we've dropped off the second batches of treasures. Type in Plugh and then arrive at the Y2 room. And then we want to type in S for south. You're in north-south passage. D for down. You're in dirty passage. After we arrive in the dirty passage, we want to type U for up. You are in a low north-south passage at a hole in the floor. The hole goes down to an east-west passage. After we do that, we would type in D for down, and we're back in the dirty passage. I want to type in the word bed quilt. It teleports us to a bed quilt. So now we're in bed quilt. Type in west for west, or W. Uh-oh. There is a threatening little dwarf in the room with you. You're in Swiss cheese room. Okay, we want to type the word Oriental room, or Oriental. There is a threatening little dwarf in the room with you. You're in Oriental room. There is a delicate, precious Ming vase here. All right, we type in the word north, or letter N. There is a threatening little dwarf in the room with you. You are following a wide path around the outer edge of a large cavern. Far below, through a heavy white mist. Strange, splashing noises can be heard. The mist rises up through a fissure in the ceiling. The path exits to the south and west. Type the letter W for west. There are two, count them, two threatening little dwarves in the room with you. You are in an alcove. A small northwest path seems to widen after a short distance. An extremely tight tunnel leads east. It looks like a very tight squeeze. An eerie light can be seen at the other end. Next, we want to save our file as alcove, and we'll date the file. This is a location of another two treasures that you're going to find in this cave, in this narrow tunnel. Type in the words drop lamp, okay? And type the words drop axe, okay? Inventory, you are not carrying anything. East. A little dwarf with a big knife blocks your way. There are two threatening little dwarves in the room with you. Two of them throw knives at you. None of them hit you. You're in an alcove. There is a little axe here. And there is a lamp shining nearby. Uh-oh, what are we going to do with this? Take axe. Then want to throw axe. You attack a little dwarf, but he dodges out of the way. There are two threatening little dwarves in the room with you. Two of them throw knives at you. None of them hit you. You're in an alcove. There is a little axe here, and there is a lamp shining nearby. Type in throw axe. You aren't carrying it. So first we want to take the axe from the floor, pick it up, okay, and then throw axe. You killed a little dwarf. There is a threatening little dwarf in the room with you. One sharp, nasty knife is thrown at you. It misses. You're in an alcove. There is a little axe here. There is a lamp shining nearby. You want to type in the word take axe, okay? And throw axe. You killed a little dwarf. It was either you or me, but it's not personal. You're in an alcove. There is a little axe here. There is a lamp shining nearby. Want to type in save? We'll save our file or resave it. Dwarves and whatever indicate that something new has happened. Then we type the letter E for east. You're in a small chamber lit by an eerie green light. An extremely narrow tunnel exits to the west. A dark corridor leads northeast. And there is an emerald here the size of a plover's egg. Another treasure. So we want to type in take emerald, okay? And type in the letter west. You are in an alcove. A small northwest path seems to widen after a short distance. An extremely tight tunnel leads east. It looks like a very tight squeeze. An eerie light can be seen at the other end. There is a little axe here. There is a lamp shining nearby. Type in the words take axe, okay, and take lamp, okay. Type the word save. So we want to save our file. Type the words inventory. You are currently holding the following: brass lantern, dwarf's axe, egg-sized emerald. Type the words northwest or NW. You're in Misty Cavern. Type the word south or S. You're in Oriental Room. There is a delicate, precious Ming vase here. This time I want to type in take vase. Okay. And then type in SE for southeast. You're in Swiss cheese room. Type in E for east. You are in the soft room. The walls are covered with heavy curtains. The floor with a thick pile carpet. Moss covers the ceiling. A small velvet pillow lies on the floor. Type the words take pillow. Okay, this is another treasure. Next we want to type in U for west. You're in Swiss cheese room. Type in west. You're at east end of two-bit room. There is a huge beanstalk growing out of the west pit up to the hole. I want to type in W for west again. You're at west end of 2-pit room. There is a huge beanstalk growing out of the west pit up to the hole. Next, we want to type D for down. You are at the bottom of the western pit in the 2-pit room. There is a large hole in the wall about 25 feet above. There is a gigantic beanstalk stretching all the way up to the hole. Type the word climb. After we type the word climb, you clamber up the plant and scurry through the hole at the top. You're in a narrow corridor. And we type the letter U for west. You're in giant room. Next, in the giant room, we want to type the words fee, press enter, OK. Then we type the words phi, press enter, OK. Then we type the word fo, press enter, OK. And then finally the word foo, and press enter. There is a large nest here, full of golden eggs. The treasure magically appears. Take eggs. We want to type in the words, take eggs. We want to save their file. Golden eggs are an essential treasure for you in order to complete the game successfully. So we want to type in S for south. You're in a narrow corridor. After that, we want to type D for down. You're in west pit. There is a gigantic beanstalk stretching all the way up to the hole. Type the letter U for up, and then you're at west end of 2-pit room. There is a huge beanstalk growing out of the west pit up to the hole. And then we type in the letter W for west. You're in slab room. And type the letter U for up. You are in a secret north-south canyon above a large room. Type the letter S for south. And you are in a secret canyon that exits to the north and east. A huge green fierce dragon bars the way. Another monster. And then the dragon is sprawled out on a Persian rug. Exclamation point, exclamation point. This is another treasure that you need to obtain. Type in kill dragon. With what? Your bare hands? And respond with yes. Congratulations, you have just vanquished a dragon with your bare hands. Brackets, unbelievable, isn't it? Very unbelievable. That's why it's a fantasy text adventure game. All right. You are in a secret canyon that exits to the north and east. There is a Persian rug spread out on the floor. The body of a huge green dead dragon is lying off to one side. We want to type the word save. We want to save our file as dragon or Persian rug. Whatever you want to call it, but we definitely want to save this file and save this room. And we take the rug, because this is another treasure that we're going to need on our adventure, to put into our well house treasure room. Save our file, move on. Type in E for east. You are in a secret canyon. Which here runs east/west. It crosses over a very tight canyon, 15. If you go down, you may not be able to get back up. Type in letter E for east. You're in Hall of Mountain King. There is a small wicker cage discarded nearby. Cheerful little bird is sitting here singing. Type in N for north. You're in north-south passage. Type in letter N for north. You are in a large room with a passage to the south, a passage to the west, and a wall of broken rock to the east. There is a large, quote-unquote, wide on a rock in the room's center. A hollow voice says, plus, quote unquote, plus. Not a magic word. Type in plus. Then we're back inside the well house building. There is a golden chain lying in a heap on the floor. Off to one side lies a glistening pearl. There are rare spices here. There is a jewel-encrusted trident here. A 3-foot black rod with a rusty star on an end lies nearby. There is precious jewelry here. There are many coins here. There are bars of silver here. And there is a large sparkling nugget of gold here. Type the word save. So we want to save our file. This is the third run, I believe, the third Well House Treasures file. So we're just going to change the number 2 to number 3. Drop emerald. Dropped and drop pillow. Dropped and drop vase. The vase is now resting delicately on a velvet pillow. It's very important that you drop the pillow before dropping the vase, because if you don't, you will break the vase. Make sure to drop the pillow first and drop the vase on the pillow to give it a cushion. Then we type in the words drop eggs. Okay. And then drop rug. Okay. And drop rod, or not drop rod. Correction. We want to take the rod. We're going to need it on our next adventure. Save our file. So we want to save our file. We're going to need this. We're going to need these items on our journey. Type in PLUGH. Now, after typing the words PLUGH, we're at the Y2 room. We want to type in the word plover. Then you're in the plover room. Then we type in NE, northeast. You're in the dark room. A corridor leading south is the only exit. A massive stone tablet embedded in the wall reads, quote unquote, congratulations on bringing light into the dark room. There is a platinum pyramid here, 8 inches on a side. Next, we want to type in save. Save the file. I'll save this as dark room dash pyramid and date the file. So in case something happens, I can always retrieve it later. After saving the file, the game file, type in take pyramid. Okay, and we want to save our file. Now that we've obtained one of the important treasures in order to beat the game, we want to save our file. We've taken the pyramid, type in the letter S for south. You're in plover room, type in the magic word plover. Then we're in the Y2 room. type S, and now you're in the north-south passage. And we want to type in south. You're in Hall of Mountain King. All right, type in letter U. You're in the Hall of Mists. Rough stone steps lead up the dome. Type in W for west. After typing W for west, in the Hall of the Mountain, in the Hall of Mists, type in so you are at the east bank of a fissure, slicing clear across the hall. You want to type in Wave Rod, and a crystal bridge now spans the fissure. So we've created a magical bridge that will cross a large gap. Type in save. So we're at the Crystal Bridge. We'll probably name it as Crystal Bridge, and we'll date the file. Then we type in west. You are on the west side of the fissure, the Hall of Mists. A crystal bridge spans the fissure, and there are diamonds here. Excellent. Another vital treasure that we need to obtain to win this game. So we want to take diamonds, and we want to save our file as diamonds, date our file for later in case we need to retrieve. Then we want to type in west. You're at the west end of the Hall of Mists. A low wide crawl continues west and another goes north. To the south is a little passage 6 feet off the floor. Okay, so we're making some progress after we've obtained the diamonds. We want to type in S for south. And you are in a maze of twisted little passages, all alike. Fantastic. We finally made it to the maze. This is where the pirate's treasure is saved. So we want to save our game as maze entrance, maze-entrance, and dated. So in case we can retrieve our file if we need to. If we mess up the maze. Alright, so we type in letter E for east. You are in a maze of twisted little passages, all alike. Excellent. Then we type in the letter S for south. You're in the maze of twisted little passages, all alike. Next we type the letter W. There's no way to go in that direction, and we're still in a maze of twisted little passages all alike. So we made a little error, so we will type another word. Type the letter E. No, just a moment. Type the letter E for east. And you're in a maze of twisted little passages, all alike. So we're still exploring the maze. Type the letter south. Out of the shadows behind you pounces a bearded pirate. And he says, quote unquote, "Har, har," he chortles. "I'll just take all this booty and hide it away with me chest deep in the maze." He snatches your treasure and vanishes into the gloom. You are in a maze of twisted little passages, all alike. Now, don't get upset if this happens to you. This is actually important. This is, you need to be robbed by the pirate. This is part of the game, so don't feel bad. We will find out how this is beneficial in just a few minutes. So after the pirate robs us, we want to save the file. We'll save this as pirate-treasure, dated. So we can retrieve our file in case we need to know. But we've saved our file. We've been robbed by the pirate. He's taken all our treasures. We still have our axe and our lamp. Next, you want to type in S for south. You are in a maze of twisted little passages, all alike. Next, you want to type the letter S for south again. You are in a maze of twisted little passages, all alike. And we type in north. Uh-oh, there's a threatening little dwarf in the room with you, and you are in a maze of twisty little passages all alike. All right. So we want to type in throw axe. You killed a little dwarf. It was either you or me, bud. It was nothing personal, but you're going to hurt me, so I have to defend myself. So you are in a maze of twisted little passages, all alike, and there is a little axe here. Okay. So we've defeated the dwarf. We want to take the axe, pick it up for later, and okay. Type in E for east. You're on the brink of a 30-foot pit with a massive orange column down one wall. You could climb down here, but you could not get back up. The maze continues at this level. So I'll save this file as orange column maze or something to that effect. It's important to save our file. So we've saved our file. We're at the orange column. This is an important milestone in the maze of the game. So after we arrive at the orange column in the maze, we want to type in the letter N for north, and then type in E, and then in the maze of twisted little passages all like. After we type in the letter NW, northwest, dead end. We made it. The pirate's treasure chest is here. There is a platinum pyramid here, 8 inches on the side. And there are diamonds here. We've got it. Ladies and gentlemen, we got it. Alright, so we want to pick up all our treasures, including the pirate's treasure. So we want to save our file first as pirate's treasure. Date the file. Next, you want to type in take pyramid. Yeah, okay. Take diamonds. And take chest. And then we type in the letters SE for southeast. And then north. So we're in the maze of twisted little passages all alike. Now you're at the brink of pit. So when we arrive at the brink of pit, we type in D for down. And then we want to type in the magic word debris. D-E-B-R-R-I-S. So we arrive at, after we type that, we teleport into the debris room. Next, we want to type in the magic word XYZZY. So we're inside the building. There is a Persian rug spread on the floor. There is a large nest here full of golden eggs. There is a delicate precious Ming vase here. A small velvet pillow lies on the floor. There is an emerald here the size of a plover's egg. There is a golden chain lying in a heap on the floor. Off to one side lies a glistening pearl. There are rare spices here. Jewel encrusted trident. Precious jewelry. Many coins. Bars of silver. And a large sparkling nugget of gold here. So we've arrived at our treasure room. We'll be keeping our treasure. We're going to save our file as warehouse treasures. But we'll just change the number 3 to number 4. And we want to drop pyramid. Okay. Then we want to type in drop diamonds. Okay. And type in drop chest. Okay. Type in, after we drop a chest, we want to save. Number 4, warehouse treasures. This is very important. Type in PLUGH, blue, and you're at the Y2 room. So after we arrive at the Y2 room, you type in south, and you're in the north-south passage. Next, we want to type D for down. You're in dirty passage. And we type in magic word bed quilt. And we are teleported to the bed quilt room. Then we type in E for east. You're at complex junction. Then we type in E for east. You are in an anteroom leading to a large passage to the east. Small passages go west and up. The remnants of recent digging are evident. A sign in mid-air here says, quote-unquote, cave under construction beyond this point. Proceed at own risk. Square brackets, Witt Construction Company. There are a few recent issues of Spelunker Today magazine here. So we want to save our file. I named this file Cave Under Construction, but you could also call it Anteroom. Anything that you would recognize pretty quickly. This is a very important part of the game. We're near the end. Next, we want to type in Take Magazine. Okay, and we type in E. You are at Wit's End. Passages lead off in all directions. So we'll save our file as Wit's End. And there's a sepulchral voice reverberating through the cave, and it says, quote unquote, cave closing soon. All adventurers exit immediately through main office. All right, so this is kind of unusual and kind of creepy. So we want to type in drop magazine at wit's end. Okay. Next we want to type in the direction or the word north. You have crawled around in some little holes and wound up back in the main passage. So we're back in wit's end. There are a few recent issues of Spelunker Today magazine here. So what we want to do is continue to type the letter N for north until we arrive somewhere different. We're in kind of like in a time warp, almost like a Groundhog Day or a Twilight Zone episode. And do you need help getting out here? And the program asked me, and I typed in N for no. I don't want your help right now. So we'll continue on in this game, typing the letter N for north. You're at wit's end, and we've arrived at wit's end again. It's sort of a time warp. We keep coming back and back forth. And type in N again. Wit's end, and we arrived in the anteroom. Now I think I messed up during this recording, and what I did is I backtracked to an earlier part in the game. I'll show you what I'm talking about, and I fixed the issue. So in this recording, what I did was in the anteroom. There's no way to go in that direction. So what I did, I'm trying to remember what I did here. We'll find out in just a moment. Type in the word restore. So we're going to restore to an earlier part in the game. We're back in wit's end. Passages lead off in all directions. I'm not sure exactly what I did, but anyways. But I fixed the issue. Type in inventory. We got the lantern, the rod, magazine, and dwarf's axe. Type the words drop magazine. And then we'll just save our file so we can remember where we were when we saved and we dropped the magazine at the wit's end. So now we type in N for north. We're at wit's end. There are a few recent issues of quote-unquote Spelunker Today magazine. Save our file, just where we left off. We're at wit's end. We typed in letter N already. A few recent issues of Spelunker Today magazine here. Keep typing the letter N until something new arrives. The software asks me if I want to get help. Type in N for no, and keep typing north, or N for north. Now, we've arrived somewhere new. N, the sepulchral voice in Toads, quote-unquote, the cave is now closed. As the echoes fade, there is a blinding flash of light, brackets, and a small puff of orange smoke. Dot, 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 dot. As your eyes refocus, you look around and find dot, dot, dot. You are at the northeast end of an immense room, even larger than the giant room. It appears to be a repository for the quote-unquote adventure program. Massive torches far overhead bathe the room with smoky yellow light. Scattered about you can be seen a pile of bottles, brackets, all of them empty. A nursery of young beanstalks murmuring quietly. A bed of oysters. A bundle of black rods with rusty stars on their ends. And a collection of brass lanterns. Off to one side, a great many dwarves are sleeping on the floor, snoring loudly. A sign nearby reads, quote unquote, do not disturb the dwarves. An immense mirror is hanging against one wall and stretches to the other end of the room, where various other sundry objects can be glimpsed dimly in the distance. Very bizarre surrounding, very almost like a back rooms kind of area. And we type in the word save. We're going to save our file. I'll call it Sleeping Dwarves or Dwarves Sleeping. Date the file. Excellent. Next, we're going to type the letters SW, southwest. You are at the southwest end of the repository. To one side is a pit full of fierce green snakes. On the other side is a row of small wicker cages, each of which contains a little sulking bird. In one corner is a bundle of black rods with rusty marks on their ends. A large number of velvet pillows are scattered about on the floor. A vast mirror stretches off to the northeast. At your feet is a large steel grate, next to which is a sign that reads, comma, quote-unquote, treasure vault. Keys in main office. The grate is locked. Type in take rod. Okay. Next we want to type in NE for northeast. You're at the northeast end. Type the words drop rod. Okay. Type the letters SW for southwest. You're at the southwest end. The grate is locked. Type in the word blast. There is a loud explosion, and a 20-foot hole appears in the far wall, burying the dwarves in the rubble. You march through the hole and find yourself in the main office, where a cheering band of friendly elves carry the conquering adventurer off into the sunset. You scored 345 out of a possible 350, using 359 turns. Your score puts you in Master Adventurer Class A. To achieve the next higher rating, you need 4 more points. Square bracket. Hit any key to exit. So there you have it. We've won the game. I feel very excited and very humbled, as well as victorious in this game. I had a good time. If you can do a better score than I did, I do encourage you to record your gameplay on YouTube or on Spotify or Twitch or whatever you can. This is the game as it originally appeared in the stores. Colossal Cave Adventure, Amstrad. Peter Gerard is the original designer of the game. So we have the box, we have the illustration of the brave adventurer wearing a brown toga, gray boots, blue shirt, sword in one hand, right hand, and the left hand is a cage of the bird. And he's battling a gigantic serpent, the green snake. And of course we know what happened in the game is that the bird scared the snake away. There's also some treasures in the bottom. There's a treasure chest in the left corner of the box with coins and jewels. And in the right corner we see a key and a lock or some other objects. So that is the game box, and that was the game. Colossal Cave Adventure. I certainly had a fun time. Hope you enjoyed this walkthrough, and leave your comments below. I do appreciate it. And there you have it. That was our complete walkthrough of Colossal Cave Adventure, text adventure game. Hope you enjoyed it. I certainly had a good time. So tune in next episode, next week, of Taco and Text Adventure Tuesday, ASMR. We'll be playing a new text adventure game, a new one I have not played before. It's called The Theater. I believe it's called Haunted Theater. It's a game that was made in the 90s. We're keeping the theme of spooky games all October 2025. So I'll be playing a lot of spooky games, scary games during October 2025 on my YouTube channel, Video Gamers Oasis. Make sure to subscribe, click the notification bell, send some likes, loves to my videos. I do appreciate it. Send some super thanks if you feel inclined. And on my Spotify channel, where I do a podcast here. So if you want to check it out and enjoy me playing through Theater, a haunted theater text adventure game, kind of a spooky haunted theater story, make sure to join me next week on this series. And I'm really excited about it, and we're probably going to have a good time with that. As usual, or starting a new habit, I will be pre-recording the gameplay ahead of time, so I'll be able to play better and to do a better narration podcast. I find it works a lot better that way. I'm Jeremy, and you've been watching Taco and Text Adventure Tuesday, ASMR. Thank you for watching. Have a great rest of October 2025. See you next time. Bye for now.